guys, how are you doing? And thank you for tuning in to Mary's Thoughts today again. Hope you all have been well. Hope you have had a great year so far. First of all, I would like to apologize for my being offline for a while. I promise you that it is with good reason. The truth is, when I started Mary's Thoughts, I did not anticipate the changes that God was going to make in my life at the time. I was very direct about what I thought the vision was going to be about. And so if you remember when you if you have watched my introduction to Mary's Thoughts video, it was kind of like one directional. I said, this is what is going to happen, this is how we're thinking, this is what we're doing, and this is where we're headed. And this was not me trying to be any different from who I am in the real, because I'm one of those people who like to know the end goal before I take the first step. And so everything that I thought this initiative was going to be about has now been overridden by what God has taught me ever since I took the bold step to start. And this has been very impactful for me as an individual, because it has helped me to understand that as much as I try to always be in control of things and situations, I have to learn to put God at the forefront and allow Him hold the steering of everything that concerns me, including the ideas and the initiatives that He has put in my hands to birth into this world. And so shortly after I shot my physical abuse in church video, God told me to stop. He told me I had done something that He had instructed me to do, but that it was time to stop and sit with Him, because He was going to show me a lot of other things about this initiative that I need to fine-tune to get it to where He wants to get it to. And it was quite difficult for me, because I had topics to go for days, for weeks. I had 52 topics written down that I wanted to speak about, and I thought, yes, I could go on for a year without taking breaks on my Thoughtful Thursday video releases. And so but I had to obey, because I know from experience that when God tells you to do something and you disobey, you end up paying the full price the full price of disobedience. So I had to obey, and I just sat still and I kept asking Him, what next, and what next, and what next. And He started speaking to me, and that's changed the trajectory for a lot of things for me. This is not to say that any video I have put out is contrary to the will of God. Do not get me wrong. What I am trying to say is every direction that I thought this initiative was going to take has been overridden by God's plan, and I am so happy and so peaceful about what He is doing as far as my life and this initiative is concerned. However, I will not take away the fact that today makes it 1 year since I released my first video, since I introduced Mary's Thoughts to the world, since I showed this gift that had been buried on the inside of me to the world. I must tell you that this 1 year has been filled with so many transformations in my life. One of the most interesting things that has happened is the fact that even my parents were shocked about what they saw me doing, or what they did not know I had the capacity to do. And I noticed that ever since I begun this initiative, their impressions or their perceptions of me has really changed, and it has helped our relationship better, our parent-child relationship to grow better. I think my parents kind of trust me more, a bit more than they used to handle certain things, or to give them advice, or to take the responsibility on certain fronts for them. And they kind of trust my decisions a bit better. I do not know why we had to come this far for those things to happen, but I guess that it's all part of God's plan. The second thing that has happened is that God has shuffled my life in ways that I did not even know my life needed shuffling. He has taken out a lot of people that were not meant to be a part of my story, and actually introduced a new crop of people into my life. And so every day I watch God put me in more fulfilling, more edifying, more encouraging relationships in my life. And this was a challenge a burden that I carried in my heart for so long, for many years of my life, I was this person who always encourages people, is always there for people, always wants to be a shoulder for people to lean on. But whenever I fell on difficult times, it was like I just always felt alone. It's kind of like you're in the midst of so many people, but you still feel alone. Do you know what I mean? Because you're giving so much out, and what you're getting back is like literally breadcrumbing. And so since I obeyed God and started this initiative, He did a reshuffling of a lot of my relationships for me and puts me in relationships with people that I need. Not people I want, but people I need. And sometimes these people don't necessarily look like it, act like it, talk like it, but I hear this nudge in my spirit to move closer to them and draw closer to them, because we are men and women of like passions. And so it has helped me to grow as a person. The third thing that Mary's Thought has done for me personally is that it has helped me to understand that there are a lot of people who are as unique as I am. Because I used to feel like a square peg in a round hole for so long in my life. But when I started speaking about these things and I started bringing these things to the fore, it attracted people who had similar mindset as mine into my life. It attracted people that were passionate about the things I was passionate about, or I am still passionate about. And it was just like a dark cloud rolled over. Because sometimes when you are a unique person in the midst of people who have one mind as a collective, or you are a unique person who keeps being thrown in situations with people who have similar mindset as a collective, you may start to feel like you have the problem. But it helped me to understand that I was not the problem. I was just a misfit in many situations in my life. And I thank God for the grace to be able to dream, to be able to bring to the fore a lot of discussions He had placed in my heart for years, and have people sound off to me like, yes, I get that as well. I've thought about that as well. That's something I have had in my heart as well. You know what I'm saying? Just last night, I was out for dinner with a friend and I was telling him about something I wanted, I wished existed. And I thought, to myself, why can't this thing just be, this way? And he just looked at me and he was like, do you know, I've been thinking about this thing for a long time, and we just kept going back and forth with each other about what the initiative should be like. And I've had so many of these experiences in the past 1 year since I started Mary's Thought, because just putting out the videos I put out and doing the things that God had laid in my heart to do kind of I won't even say kind of, actually attracted certain kinds of people to me and helped me not to feel like a misfit that I have felt like for most of my life. And so why am I putting this out there? I want you to know that as much as I am passionate about healthy Christianity, thoughtful Christianity, functional Christianity, living this Christian life by the fruits we bear here on earth, even as we make our way to heaven, because my prayer is that we all make heaven, I want you to also know that I'm not perfect and my life is not perfect. And I am happy that I am also growing on this journey. I am happy that God is using this initiative to change me as much as He is using it to change the lives of each and every one of you who send me messages about the things that you are dealing with. I'm very happy that the initiative is impacting my soul as much as it is impacting the souls of other people out there. And so, like I always say, we need to reason together. We need to be a source of encouragement to each other. And as much as I like sitting down here to encourage you and speak life into the situations that we are facing as individuals and as a church, and help to piece apart these blind spots that we might be struggling with as baby Christians or even as millennial Christians, I want you to know that I also have those experiences with God every day, and I am as thankful for those experiences as you are. I'm so happy to have found my purpose here on earth. I'm so happy to be living a life doing things that make meaning not just to me but to the Spirit of God. I'm so happy to be expressing myself in a way that brings me closer to all of you who watch my videos. And I appreciate all the messages. I appreciate all the rants you guys send to me. I appreciate all the outpouring of love that you showed to me. It just helps me to know that in the midst of the chaos and in the midst of all the drama and confusion in the world out there, there are a crop of people who want to see things done differently, especially in church. And I am happy to be the one you share all these struggles with. The next 1 year for Mary's Thoughts will be me letting God lead me on what to say to each and every person that comes across these videos. I hope to be, not I hope, I actually want to be led by the Spirit. I want the Spirit to lead me on what content to develop. And this is because in the past year, I have come to really understand the meaning of man being a spirit that has a soul, but also lives in a body. And so I'm not going to be led by the flesh. I'm not going to be led by anything of the flesh, because to me, this has gone beyond matters of the flesh. This is a spirit-controlled project, and I'm just going to let the Spirit lead, because it disciplines me as much as it blesses you when I let the Spirit of God lead. So happy 1 year anniversary to us at Mary's Thoughts. Thank you to everybody that has helped me so far. My photographer friends, Tayo, Okeowo, Goit, Paul, my editor, Joe Agbola, aka Joe Keys, my friend Ebos, who is constantly a sounding board for me each time I have to discuss what next or what else I need to do. My family, my parents, my siblings, they've been so encouraging. Thank you. And my friends on Facebook and Instagram. And thank you all so much. Just thank you, thank you, thank you. And I promise that we would have more videos before we hit our 2nd year milestone. God bless you, and see you guys soon.